Hey yo, welcome back.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I was in Disney. You were out of town. Welcome back to the whatever episode of the Who Effing Knows podcast.
are we on
Um,
fifth? Might be 16.
I think it's technically supposed to be 16, but did we skip one in between? I don't know where we're at.
Well,
I was
there's a lost episode. We don't ever put that out.
there is a lost episode. There's one that's supposed to come out that we haven't quite finished. I was Fetty Whopping it up. Speaking of the official podcast of Fetty Wap fans everywhere, that's where we're going with
Hey,
tonight. I was Fetty Whopping it up. I had one eye for a couple days. It's better. You can't even really tell, actually. Um, but yeah, so now we have a lost episode of Dave in Vegas, which will probably drop randomly. We'll put it out, right? How was
yeah,
Vegas?
I don't. Vegas was a blast, man. We consumed a lot of food, a lot of alcohol, spent a lot of money. Yeah, that's about that's about right.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
You know,
Um,
I
yeah,
was
that's
looking earlier, like trying to figure out how much I spent, and I don't know what I spent it on. 'Cause I don't really gamble. I've made a few bets, but like I don't really gamble, and I spent a lot of money, and I'm assuming it's just food. Probably gained about 10 pounds. Tomorrow's
oh,
not gonna help. So
dude. I feel the same way. So like, I mean, I was out right before you, obviously in Disney, and man, I ate my ass off. I ate so much. I don't even know what I ate. I ate and drank every day. My daughter was sick. That was miserable. But like, I that's all I did was eat, drink, and be as merry as possible and spend money. And I felt like I was going to come back fat. And I stepped on the scale yesterday, and I'm a pound less
dude,
than what
you
I
know
was when
what?
I left.
I feel I should have did that this morning too, because I think it might have been the same way. Like I don't know. I told my buddies I'm about to be on straight after tomorrow. I'm about to be on straight salad for like a week, and I got to get back right.
You just got to feel right. Like I feel terrible right now. I'm
Yeah.
technically a
Oh,
pound lighter, but I'm telling you, I feel awful. And then with my eye thing, like I didn't want to go to the gym. I was, I feel, I just feel gross. And then
at
tomorrow's
least at
Thanksgiving,
least
so
at least you were in the same boat as me though. Like both of our vacations involved a lot of walking. So you were
yeah.
eating, but you were walking all day long. So
Oh yeah,
it does help.
Miles. My my phone alerted me randomly. My Apple like health as if I was doing something wrong. It was like your activity is abnormally higher, and I was like, oh,
It's
thanks. You're calling me
it's
a
dude,
lazy piece of shit.
it's funny you say that happened to you. So before we get into everything, I'll tell you my story. Then we were sitting at the bar, and we were a few drinks in at this point. And like all of a sudden, like I'm literally just sitting at the bar, like I'm talking to you right now, and my watch alerts me that I got a heart rate over 120 while I'm resting. I'm like, well, this ain't
Shit.
good. I
No,
looked at
not
my
good.
buddy. I said, "Do I need to call a doctor?" I've never had that happen before, but we're still here. We're still kicking. We're good. Things
Glad to see
happen,
you're
I
back.
guess.
You're okay. Not dying.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
no, that's cool. Yeah, my heart rate was never that high, but yeah, my phone definitely was worried about me. So that's crazy. Yeah, so Thanksgiving Eve. Good transition, I guess. We're coming. I was messing with Dave earlier talking about Thanksgiving Eve. Did you know that oh shit, sorry, my phone is going off, guys. I may have to hop in the middle of this and I have something on a smoker. So if anybody out there is worried about me where I go, maybe we'll do that
I can
30
I can
minutes
bullshit
later
for a few
thing.
minutes if I have to. Be
Yeah.
all right.
No, I think I had the gauge in. We're good. But no, it's Thanksgiving Eve. Dave, I don't know if you knew this. Um, did you know that the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving is supposedly like the drunkest night of the year in America?
I did not know that. My guess would have been like New Year's Eve or like St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
Would have been
I
my
would
two.
I would think the same thing. And I don't know if it's like factually like if there's like science behind it, right? But I know that they refer to tonight as like Drinksgiving. And I think that it's because like a lot of the time people, whether they're like flying home because they live away, they come in the night before, they get hammered, or maybe people are away on college, they come in town, whatever it is, you go back home.
Stressing
Um,
out over cooking.
yeah, yeah, whatever it is. So yeah, they refer to tonight as Drinksgiving. And with that, something I mentioned to you earlier, I wanted to bring up just a fun topic before we jump in. I know we have some sports stuff to talk about. Give me one good, and I'll start if you don't have it off the top of your head. Give me one good drunken story. Earlier, I said let's get a bad one, and I was like, you know what? Let's not do that because maybe we don't want to share those. Let's do a good one. One good drunken story. Do you have one?
You start because I'm just gonna tell you how my Vegas trip ended because I was drunk at the time and it ended on a pretty high note for one of my friends. So I'll let you start and then I'll go with that story.
Okay, I've got two. I've got two. I
Okay.
could be a cop out. One is not how I met
Also,
my wife. Actually, I met my wife when I
also
was drunk.
I'm live tweeting. I'm live tweeting from the pod account some polls as we go along. So
Nice. This is a good idea.
it's
We
gonna
should do
happen.
this more where we're just like remote doing this. I like the in-person thing too, but we'll figure this out.
Yeah, I
Man,
miss you, buddy. We got to get back in person.
I actually have three stories now that I'm thinking about it because I met my wife when I was drunk. I'm gonna go with my that would have to be my favorite. There's another favorite. I'll give some runner-ups in a second. We'll start with my favorite. My favorite one, my friends and I used to always go on cruises for like bachelor parties when we were younger because it was cheap, it was fun. Get out of the country, you get wild. You don't have to apologize to anybody, and then you're off the ship. You don't see anybody again. Um, I don't remember if it was. I think it was a bachelor party cruise, but we're out. We decide to explore. We're in Progresso, which is a shithole, and we decide instead of going on any of the excursions. Have I told you this story? Is that why you're laughing? No,
No,
maybe not. Okay,
just
we're
Progresso being a shithole is funny.
it is. It's a shithole. It's really cool culture wise if you get out and explore. So that's what I'm getting at. So we decide we're not going to do any of the cruise excursions. None of them. We're like, listen, we're going to go to Progresso. We're literally going to walk around. We're going to find some locals. We're going to talk to them. We're going to figure out what they do. We're going to go do what they do. So we're drunk this whole trip. That's why this is a drunken story. It's 10 a.m. We had mimosas on the ship before we got off. Um, we're having drinks walking down the block in Progresso. We randomly stop at a bar or a restaurant, I should say, but it's basically a bar. Not within like the area that you would normally be if you're a normal tourist. And there's a guy there that speaks like very broken English, and we're just flat out like, hey, like, what do you do in your free time? Now this is a long story, so I apologize. Bear with me. So we end up going to these cenotes, about 30 to 45 minutes away, which was like this very small. They're not the ones that are even like shown when you're on the ship. Like there's some on the ship that they're like, hey, you have to go to these, and they're like 2 hours away, whatever. We go there, we meet this dude Donkey. That's his name. I don't know. Um, he tells us about this really cool restaurant closer to the ship area. That basically all you do is you order drinks, and when you order drinks, they just keep bringing you food. And we're like, hell yeah. None of us really speak Spanish, by the way. We're just figuring this out as we go. Um, and so we go back to that place, and we're thinking the whole time we have until 5 o'clock. And we get to this restaurant. You can see the ship from this restaurant. We're there, we're drinking, we're eating, we're having a good time. They're singing happy birthday to some random little girl. Like there are no white people in this whole restaurant. Um, and they're singing happy birthday to this little girl, and I just hear, I don't know if that comes clear like through the mic as I'm doing it, but like it's basically like the ship, like, horn sound. And I'm like, I look up and I'm like, oh shit, guys. I think the ship's about to leave. We're not even back at the dock. Like we're nowhere near it. Uh, so like we freak out. We pay our bill. We leave. We go back to the little areas like around the corner to get back to the area to get on a bus to go back to the ship. And they're like, no, all the buses are gone. Like you guys missed the last bus. Like you can't get back on the ship. And I'm like, excuse me, what? I'm in Mexico. I'm in Progreso, Mexico. Like if I don't get on this ship, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. So we find a cab, and I'm like screaming at this poor Mexican guy, and I like broken Spanish. So I'm like, que hora. That's all I know. In the time I'm drunk, what time or what? How the fuck? It doesn't even like translate well, but um, I'm screaming this at the poor guy, and he's looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I point at the ship, and he's like, oh. And I don't even remember how he said it, but basically he's like, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, cool. We get back to the ship. They're like pulling the ropes off, pulling the horn. People are leaning over the balcony yelling at us. It's my long-winded story of how I almost got lost in Mexico.
You're
But it's
about to swim through.
a fun drunk story. There's also the one of when my wife and I met Joel McHale. before we got married, and he said that if I didn't marry her, I had to be gay. Um,
That's cool.
fair. And then, I met my wife at a wedding when I was drunk as well. So that's it. I can
Nice,
elaborate on
man.
those eventually.
I'm glad you didn't die in Mexico.
Yeah. What you got? Tell me about Vegas.
All right, so as I said, we lost a lot of money, or a healthy amount of money, I guess you could say. Um, by the way, my headphones just came like disconnected for some reason, so hopefully this still sounds okay.
Yeah, you're good.
But anyway, so last night of the trip, me and my buddy Aaron, we uh we were sitting down there eating, and he had won like $100 on roulette the night before. And after we finished eating, I was like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "We're going up to the room." Our flight, we had to be at the airport for like 10 a.m. or something like that. He's like, "Nah, I got this $100. We're gonna go spend it on roulette." It's like, "All right." Now we are been drinking all day, so
Fuck
decision
yes.
making is not at an all time high, you know. So we go play some roulette. I didn't play. I didn't have anybody left to gamble. So he's like, "I got $100." Gets on roulette, and he's always betting is like black and red. So, and for anybody who doesn't know, 1 to 1 on black and red for roulette, W money. So he gets down. He's betting like $25 a roll or spin. He gets down to like 25. His last 25 gets up to 50. It's like, all right, I'm putting all 50. He hits, wins 100. He's like, all right, I'm putting 100. Hits, and he's not even like staying on black or red every time. He's just guessing. So he gets up. He hits his 100. Now he's at 200. So he's like putting 100 again. Goes again, hits. So he's up to 300. He's like, all right, one more roll or one more spin, and we're done. He's like, I triple my money if I lose. If not, I got a 4x if I win. Like, all right, whatever. I said, but what you should do, if you win, you should take $10, throw it on the number, and that's how we're ending the night or ending the trip. He's like, all right, we'll see. So puts his 100 on black, it hits. Now he's at 400. He looks at me, he's like, can I just do $5? And I was like, well, first off, this is your money. I don't give a shit what you do. Like, put whatever you want. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna do five. So he puts five on black 31. Watching the wheel, the ball is like in a number on the other side of the wheel for black 31. And like out of nowhere, it just jets over to like straight into black 31 and it
Hell yeah.
hits. And that's how we ended the trip. Just
Hell
went
yeah.
ape shit with all these people around. I've never seen somebody he hit like six in a row and it ended like that. I've never seen somebody get hot like that on roulette
I
in my
love
life.
it.
What a
What's
what a time. I didn't win any money, but he did, so that's cool.
what's terrible? What's great and also terrible about that? It's an amazing experience for everyone involved, even the people like standing around watching. But it also probably led to all those people standing around watching blowing a lot of fucking money that they're never going to get back
Oh yeah, he
because
was
they're just chasing that high.
yeah. I was surprised he didn't keep going because like once you hit that, you're like, I'm invincible. Like I could do anything.
Oh
But I
yeah.
can't, I just keep like it was that's how we ended the trip. So it was a cool way to end the trip, but we couldn't celebrate because we had to be at the airport the next morning. So we literally did that and went up to the room. I was like, how the hell am I supposed to sleep right now? Like
You
if it
stay
would
up
have
all
happened the
night.
first night, we yeah, if I could have if it would have happened the first night, we could have went out and partied. Like it'd have been a great night.
Just
But
get
so
on the
now
plane wasted.
him and I have been to Vegas 3 times together. The first time we went, I hit 600 on a quarter machine at the Bellagio, and he just hit 575 on roulette. So we're up. We're up.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I love it. That's a great story.
I have a quick story if you want me to give you a real drunken story though. I thought of one real quick, and then we'll get into
Yeah,
our pop.
get it in. We got to get into sports.
I got
We
it.
don't
I
want to
got
go
it.
too
All
long.
right. We went to a this is my first experience taking a shot. Didn't go well. So we went to a parade in Slidell. I don't remember how old I was. We'll just say 21 for reasons. And we ordered 2 gallons of daiquiris with a bunch of extra shots. I had about 7 of those,
Hell yeah.
a bunch of beers, a bunch of mixed drinks. We ended up going out afterwards, and let's go Vegas. So my buddy goes to give me a shot for the first time, and he looks at me, and he knows I don't do shots. He looks at me like, "You want to take it? It's just a tequila shot." I'm like, "No," and this is a quote, "But mama ain't raised no bitch." So but I'm slurring my words, and I didn't know how to take a tequila shot at the time because I didn't drink until I was 21. So I'm like, how do I do this? Lime, salt, shot, whatever. Like I'm naming all these different things, and he finally tells me, take it, throw up in my mouth a little bit, spit it out. Just took another one right afterwards. I was like, I couldn't handle the first one.
Oh
On
yeah,
my
fuck it. If
my
at
way to
first you
walk,
don't succeed, you try
yeah,
again.
I was like, no, I need another. That's how I washed it down was with another shot.
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
Fucking
that is probably number one drunkest I've ever been in my life.
balls of steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have thrown up the first time, but guess what? I'm about to try again. I appreciate that
uh, yeah.
more
So
than you
anyway,
know.
the Pels won.
Yeah, the Pels one. Let's get into sports talk. I want to talk Pels. I want to talk Tulane. We're gonna roll through them there. We're gonna do this quick. We're gonna go 45 minutes tonight. At most. I have to take the stuff off the smoker. I'm already past due. Pels won two in a row. Two in a row. Let's talk about that. Two convincing wins in a row, too. I'll be honest, tonight, I didn't get to watch most of it. I watched the first quarter where we just dominated and then like on and off throughout. Last I saw, I think we had like a 15 or 20 point lead. So I didn't see it close. So maybe you could even inform me because I haven't even looked. How did it close out? Tell me what your thoughts were.
Well, so what point did you when you say close out? At what point
I,
are we
I think
talking?
I lost it. Like I watched, like I said, I watched the first quarter and then I was on and off, seeing we still had like a 20-ish point lead for most of the
Oh yeah.
game. And then with like 5 minutes left, I think I stopped watching because I had my daughter. I was
Well,
trying to get her to bed. Like.
at the beginning of the game, it was all JV for the most
Yeah,
part. Like
I
put
saw
us up
that.
quick, and then really it was just the Zion show all night. Man, that dude was. This is the best I think I've. To me, he's looked all year so far. Like he felt like he had his legs back. Uh, it felt like he really didn't get the ball in the post all that often. Like all his points came in the paint, but he seemed like they were getting the ball in motion a lot, getting it at the top of the key. All the stuff we've been talking about of what they need to do. They let him run point Zion a little bit, and dude, he was like they had no stopping him. They had three dudes on him at one point at the rim, and he just his touch around the rim tonight was impeccable.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that was really the story tonight, and their defense tonight was awesome all night long. Defense was great. The only negative was turnovers, a lot of turnovers, but when you play like that on offense, it don't really matter.
yeah. How many? I mean, do you know how many turnovers they had? Let me pull it up. Do you know how many turnovers they finished with tonight?
It was a lot. At
I
one point,
know.
they had 13 at least.
I know I was speaking reckless early. Like I saw the defense they were playing in the first quarter, and I made the joke. I was like, should CJ just be the sixth man? Like, should we just go ahead and roll with this
Hey,
lineup from here on out?
I've
Look,
joked about that recently. Like maybe we save CJ's legs, a little bit, but
I
no, go ahead.
I I love letting the season play out. I love that Jose got a chance to start. I do love the defense they played tonight. I think there's a part of me that I look at this game and I keep thinking, hey, it's the Spurs. Like I know it's a Popovich coach
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
It's the Spurs. I'm trying not to get overexcited. I am excited that I'll say this: the last two games they did exactly what they should have done, which they weren't necessarily doing earlier in the
right.
year. That last
A
Warriors
good team
games,
blows out a team like this when they're
mm-hmm.
supposed to.
That last Warriors
Same with the
game
other night.
where there was a struggle down the stretch. We barely beat the Warriors last time we played them when they played without all their starters, and it was good to see this last go around that they were just like, you know what, we're gonna put it on them. We're gonna show them that we're actually a good team.
Yeah,
I did like seeing that. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see turnovers, right? I did notice too with Zion tonight. Um, it seemed like they were getting it to him early, regardless whether he was in the post, whether he was point Zion. They got it to him early. They let him make his decisions early. There was a couple times where it almost looked like the Spurs. Maybe it's because he was running point Zion a little bit. It almost looked like they didn't know how to defend him. Um, they
I just
weren't
think they
doubling
can't.
him. They
Like,
weren't really
no,
trying. I don't
they were sending doubles at BI the whole
late.
first half.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Zion. They sent some doubles at Zion a little later, but it seemed like they weren't doubling him early. And it was like he would catch the ball in the post and he would look over his shoulder and he would realize, oh, there's just one guy on me. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
and he would just go finish over that guy. Yeah, if this continues to where teams can't, if they have to pick and choose who they're doubling and they can't find a way to contain all parts on the floor, watch out.
Right. Yeah. Oh, dude. And then when you get these kind of JV games, it's like we don't tend to lose those. Like if you got JV going along with BI and Zion, and BI really didn't have he had a good game, but he just kind of sat back and let Zion do his thing tonight. But if you got
Yeah,
two of them going, they ain't
yeah. I
many
remember
teams that
hearing.
keep up with
I think I remember here. I think Joel said it somewhere in the fourth. He was like, "Yeah, you got three starters in the 20s, and you
you.
got
And
Bi at 17." And I was like, "Wait,
Devontae is the one is somebody you got to talk about. 21
yeah,
off the bench again.
he's hot as hell right now. He's
Yeah.
shooting. He's shooting so well. He's shooting
Good,
spectacular. I
good for
love it.
him, man, because he's been getting shit on by people for no reason this year. Because we talked about it. We both think he's had a solid year on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know what I think it is? I think that last year there was a stretch where at the beginning of the year he was all we had for a minute, to be honest, and he didn't close the year out great. He didn't shoot well to close out the year, and I think guys were just ready to get rid of him, ready to turn the page because you saw the culture change. You saw other guys step up, and you start looking at like, hey, where do minutes go? So you look at a guy like Devontae, and you're like, he didn't play well down the stretch. It's recency bias. Let's get rid of him.
Right.
Um, but you got to keep in mind that he's deadly. He's
Dude,
deadly from 3-point range. He's added to his game. You
if
see
he
little
gets
pull
if he gets
ups.
hot, man, there ain't nobody on this team that keeps up with him from three. Even like Trey ain't keeping up with Devontae if he gets hot from three because
No, I
dude can
agree.
shoot.
I agree. And we don't have to beat a dead horse when it comes to the Pels. I think we agree on all of it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where they go. I'm excited to see this game against the Grizzlies coming up. Do you have any thoughts on that game?
I just hope everybody's healthy on both teams.
Well, it looks like so far they will be.
That's it.
Did Ja play tonight? They said I think
I
he's
think he
playing
played last
before he
night.
plays this. He played last night. That's what it is. I remember seeing before it was like, oh, he's week to week, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, he's playing, and I was like, oh, how the hell do you go from week to week to playing overnight? All right,
I think that'll be the first time he plays Zion in a while, huh?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a long time.
Right.
Um, but if Brandon Ingram's playing, you know what the outcome is. So,
Well, neither one of them have lost to him.
oh, that's true. That's true. See, I'm just thinking of Bi. I was like, Bi's never lost a Ja. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's my bias. I'm sorry, guys. I love Zion too, but come on. Uh, no, listen, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that matchup, especially with the Grizzlies fully healthy, the way they finished last season. Definitely a good like measuring stick to see where we are. Um, you know, you're playing in Memphis, right? It's away. Yeah, you're playing in Memphis.
Yeah.
Um, you know, get in that grit and grind, see what happens. We'll see. I'm excited. That'd be a big game for me.
Three seed right now.
Tulane,
Look good.
Tulane plays that day as well. Let's just transition. Tulane plays that day as well. It's gonna be a big day on Friday. Coming into that game, if we could just switch gears here and get into Tulane talk. Unless you have any thoughts before I keep going, let me just blow through this real quick.
Go
You
ahead.
have any thoughts on that game or Pels or anything before I wrap that up and move on?
Nope. Yep.
Okay,
Keep it moving.
cool. Tulane also plays Friday, Black Friday, earlier in the day. I think it's like an 11 o'clock start. I don't remember the exact time. It's changed a few times. Big game playing Cincinnati. They're both ranked. Basically, the outcome of that game is going to determine who goes to the AAC championship and then potentially who has the opportunity to play in the Cotton Bowl. So it is basically going to be playoff atmosphere
Well,
for that game.
If Tulane wins, they host, right?
If Tulane wins, they do host. Uh,
They still get in if they lose.
they can still get in if they lose, but it's a far cry.
Right.
So the problem is UCF is also ranked. They didn't drop too much with their loss. I think they're 22nd right now, and you don't anticipate UCF to lose to USF. Now it could happen. They just lost to Navy.
Right.
USF has been abysmal, to be honest. They have not been good.
No.
So you don't expect them to lose. So I think that if you're a Tulane fan or if you're a part of the team, you got to look at it first and foremost as 1-0, as they've been doing all year. Hey, let's just go 1-0. But if you lose that game, there's a big chance that you don't even make the championship game, which then means you're not going to get into, one of those major bowl games that you're probably hoping for.
Right.
You got to win the game. You got to win the game. But yeah, you win the game and then you host. You probably end up hosting UCF. You get a rematch. That's your major loss outside of Southern
and we
Miss.
try to find a way into the game. That's the key. They host the AAC championship. I'm hoping it's a weekend I'm off and we go.
I will figure out a way into that game. I can guarantee
it.
but no, I'm excited. And then on top of that, you have a couple guys that are invited to the Senior Bowl, which surprised me. Did you know Tyjae Spears is he a senior? Because I was under the impression he was a junior.
I thought he was a junior.
And I'm like questioning everything.
Yeah, I thought he was a junior.
Who was it?
I forgot the two already that were invited. Was Nick Anderson one?
It was Dorian Williams.
Dorian Williams. Okay.
Yeah. It was Dorian Williams. Nick Anderson, though, like you made a good point on Twitter the other day, because I was listing off the four guys. I said, hey, there's at least four guys on this team that'll probably be on an NFL roster one day, right? And I said Tyjae, Dorian, Watts, and Pratt. And you were like, Pratt, really? And I was like, yeah, like I think he's like NFL caliber. I don't think he's going to start.
Probably, yeah. He's one of them guys that's either late round draft pick or
he'll be on a practice squad somewhere.
Probably the same with Nick Anderson. To be honest, probably a late round pick. Most of the Tulane guys are going to be late round guys.
Yeah, listen,
I think not the defensive guys though, because his defense is getting some respect.
Well, they are, and like you're not wrong. Like none of them are. I don't think any of them. It's going to be a cold, I don't know, pigs are going to fly, whatever you want to call it. Hell's going to freeze over if one of these guys is a first round guy. That's not that they're not.
By late round, I mean like fourth or later.
Yeah, it's fair. You might see one of them creep up into third, maybe even second, depending on how workouts go, depending on how Senior Bowl goes. Tyjae Spears is getting some looks. I think that he's going to be one to really look out for as far as like third round, probably. It might be a
he's
a
too
bit of a hot take.
Not be on a roster.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's a good guy. He's a good player. I'm a big fan too of what's his name? I can't remember. It's Deuce Watts, but I'm trying to think of his Notori. I can't remember his name right now. His name is Deuce Watts. He's not a senior, or is he a senior? Let me look him up. I love being at my computer while we do this, man. This is phenomenal.
And you have your phone in your lap when we do this.
It's not the same. I could just listen. I work all day at this computer, so like as I'm in these Zoom meetings, I'm like, and I could just easily pull things up, and it's just so like simple.
It's weird. I got the game on right in front of my face. The Knights game. I'm like,
But no. So the reason I'm saying this is kind of like a hot take, right? Like Deuce Watts, he's a guy. He's a senior. If you look at his stats on the year, he's got 27 catches, 410 yards, 6 touchdowns. You see that, you're like, is he an NFL guy? Like, I don't know. If you watch this dude play, this dude has made so many, like, he's mossed so many dudes throughout the year.
His ability to get 50-50 balls is like second to none.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, and NFL, not NFL, Tulane is such a run first offense. Like, I think he gets a good look and a good opportunity in the NFL. I'm not saying he's going to turn into like a premier receiver, but like he's going to get on a roster. Like whether he's undrafted or what, like he's going to end up on a roster.
The Saints always seem to take a undrafted Tulane receiver at some point. You know what I mean? Like they always take one of them. It feels like. So maybe he's the one this year.
Who's the last one? You got me wondering now.
Didn't they just have one last year?
I don't know.
There's one, and I'm blanking on his name.
Now
it's going to take me way too long to look this up.
Oh, yeah, Jalen McCleskey. But okay, here's the thing. I remember that. That was never real. Like, he was never going to make the team. I love Jalen McCleskey.
They gave him a shot. That's my point. They give him a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I don't want to hate on a Tulane guy. Good for him for getting his opportunity. He's got connections, though. Is his dad or his uncle? Somebody's he's a coach for the Falcons or something like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He's a coach somewhere. But yeah, I'm excited about Tulane too. What else we got? I'm sure there's some other shit we can talk about before we jump off here. Those are the two things I wanted to talk about. I'm good now. I'm golden.
I got a holiday question for you if you got time.
What you got? Let's do it.
When do Christmas decorations go up?
Great question. Phenomenal question. For me, it's always after Thanksgiving. It can be Black Friday. That's fine.
That's the correct answer. There is a correct answer to that question, to be clear.
Yeah, but I'll say this. So that is my answer. That is my thought. Ask me if I have Christmas decorations up in my house.
Well, of course you do because you're
I
extra. And
I
your wife
have
is extra. So yes, you do.
we have Christmas
Well, you
decorations up.
also have those lights in front of your house that can just change colors to red and green right away. So
which I officially changed as of today.
yeah.
We put up our little. We're trying to like order decorations, and I guess I didn't realize like if you order decorations the day before Thanksgiving, it's last minute. Because apparently everyone already has their Christmas decorations. Your
Man, Black
SOL.
Friday sales have Christmas decorations on them.
Yeah, but
So
it's like it's not the good stuff. It's like all the shit you don't want.
yeah,
Maybe it depends. Um, yeah, I don't know. So we lit that up today. We bought some little things from Lowe's today, and there's some stuff that we put out, but there's other things that we still haven't put up yet. So we're in the process of
y'all do real
decorating.
tree or fake tree?
I'm a real tree guy.
Really?
It's funny too because like I understand why you wouldn't do a real tree. It makes a mess. You got to throw it away. All
You know
these
what?
other things.
Also being a firefighter, that comes into my head. So that part of it. But also I like the idea of just paying for a tree one time and being done with it. Now I have a fake tree where it's like a smart tree where I get the app on my phone and I can literally color
You got
every
lights
single
on
one
it.
individually.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I like those. Those are
it
expensive.
dances to the music and everything. So it's
Yeah.
cool.
I love the and this is funny because you can spray the smell, but I love the smell of a real tree. I just
We get
love
the
the
sticks. I get the little sticks that just go in there.
yeah.
And
I
it's also
also I also love the like the atmosphere of like going to pick out a tree. You know what I mean? I feel
yeah.
like it's just a fun like I'm gonna go stop. I'm gonna get like my one warm hot latte or whatever that I get for the year because I never drink hot coffee from Starbucks or wherever I go. It's always iced. But I'll get my one hot drink. I'll get like hot cocoa for my daughter, and we'll walk around and we'll pick out a tree, and it'll just be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty hard on my wife about we're complete opposite ends about when Christmas decorations go up. So of course, the while I was out of town, she took full advantage of that and must have made a Hobby Lobby run or something. And
Yeah.
I came home and there's Christmas decorations all in my house. Luckily, she's pregnant and can't lift the tree, so
So she
that's
didn't put
not up
them.
yet.
They're there. They're just not all up yet.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's kind of where we're at. I have like two things though. My
Yeah.
wife finally maybe if you remember the story, I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. My TV was too low. I finally moved my TV up because she wanted to put this little like manger set underneath the
Yeah.
TV and it didn't fit. So last night at 10 p.m., I take the 75-inch TV off the wall and move the mount, rehang it.
Oh
But yeah, so that's where we're at. You got anything else? We don't have a top five tonight. Do you have a top five off the top of your head?
No, unless you want to do like Disney movies or rides, because I had that from last time.
Nah, we're Disneyed out. We're not going to
Yeah.
do Disney. Top five. Yeah, I got one. And you're going to go off the cup. Top five Thanksgiving foods. It can be the main dish. It can be a side dish, and we're going to wing it. I have nothing. I'm going to start jotting stuff down as we're doing this.
Yeah,
Do you have
let's just
anything off the top
preface
of your
this
head?
by saying it's probably not in order of our favorite to our least favorite, or not even least favorite, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I got you. Oh shit! You know what? Fuck it. Number five. You want to go in? I'm going to start.
All right, go ahead.
Number five, sweet potato casserole.
Ugh.
It's fine. I know how you feel about yams. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't like sweet potatoes, so you got me there. My number five is gonna be turkey.
That's all right. My number four is gonna be turkey.
Fair. Let's see. My number four, maybe a little bit of a sleeper. Just hot rolls
Ooh,
are elite on Thanksgiving. For some reason, you can have them all year long, but on Thanksgiving they hit different.
Not necessarily a sleeper. I get that. I'm not a bread guy most of the time, but I totally get that take.
Got to
I
dip like you
totally get
dip
it.
it in the gravy or whatever you got, whatever juices are coming off the rest of your plate. Slaps.
So, and listen, I'm gonna go ahead and preface this because we didn't say this at the beginning. You're allowed to say things that are a little untraditional as well, because everybody does things different for Thanksgiving. Just because it doesn't have to be traditional Thanksgiving meals. I want to say that because I'm gonna pick some shit that's not traditional. I'm just gonna say that now.
I'll tell you, we do mostly like traditional stuff. We don't really
We
have anything off the crazy. But I've started to cook more, so and I can't this year because I'm working tonight. But
Mhm.
like in the coming years, I'll probably start bringing some interesting stuff. Now that I like the same thing you do with smoker and everything, I probably would have did something similar.
Speaking of, I need to get to that. Hopefully I'm not drying that shit out. Uh, so
Be
number
fun.
3 for me, the reason I was saying that number 3 for me, my wife's family is Sicilian, and they do spaghetti for Christmas, or for Christmas and Thanksgiving, for really any big holiday. But
Interesting.
specifically for Thanksgiving, they do spaghetti. So just because it's different, I'm gonna put it on there. We'll
I
go with
like
that.
that. I like
Yeah,
that. My number 3, like I said, everything's pretty much traditional. Rice and gravy,
love it.
and the roast. Just throw the roast in there too. Roast, rice, and gravy. The whole thing with the
All
bread.
right. Number 2 for me, banana pudding. It's a big staple on my dad's side. My grandpa used to love it. My aunt makes it all the time. It's like a special banana pudding. I don't know what the hell they do or how they make it, but it's definitely not your traditional banana pudding. Phenomenal though.
Yeah, see, we do well, they'll do desserts. They'll do like my grandma gets a king cake actually, but I don't like king cake because I don't like
That's
cinnamon.
illegal.
So
No, that's illegal.
I look, I don't like it either way. I don't like it any point of
Straight to
time of the year.
jail.
Listen, just like what's his face didn't like green eggs and ham. I don't like king cake ever. So I'm with
Just
you.
saying. It's not tradition.
Well, neither is
Respect,
spaghetti.
respect
Neither is
tradition.
spaghetti.
I'm just listen, I get it, but I'm just saying in general, king cakes. If we're talking king cakes, you can't have king cakes outside of king cake season. There's a strict season. Outside of that, you're jinxing the entire city of New Orleans. Like she's the reason people are getting run over by floats and the Hard Rock's collapsing. I'm just saying, like, don't do it.
You didn't just put that on my grandma. That's terrible.
All right, I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm just saying, it's bad luck.
Well, where are we at? Oh, my number 2, ham.
That's good. I left ham off my list, but it's only because I forgot it as I
Do
was
you
going
think ham
through.
is better than turkey?
I do. Yeah. Ham's higher than turkey for me for sure. Unless we're talking dark meat turkey, injected, deep fried. That's the specifics that we're
I'm gonna
going with here.
I'm actually planning on smoking one pretty soon and seeing how
Okay.
that comes out.
I've had
So
some like that. They're good.
deep fried is definitely the best though. It's the move for
Yeah.
sure.
Fried injected turkey is phenomenal. Haven't had that Popeyes turkey that everybody keeps sharing to this day. It's been out for years. I've still never tried
Oh
it.
yeah.
All right, my last one because I got to get running
Yep.
is number 1, shrimp and melatonin dressing. Phenomenal. That's my fucking goat of all goats.
Oh yeah.
It's a family thing too. It's like different than the normal dressing,
You,
but
you, you know how I am with seafood, so we've had that conversation.
I know.
My number 1 is specifically my grandma's mac and cheese. She does the long noodles with and it's creamy. It's the best, man. The best.
A good mac and cheese, man, is
It's a
listen, this
good baked mac and cheese.
coming from the fat guy within, former fat guy here, dude, a phenomenal mac and cheese is almost untouchable. Like if it's super creamy, but also on top, like just enough crunch, you know? Anyways, all right.
Yeah, mac and cheese is elite. But yep, that's my top 5. I can't repeat them to you because I don't know what order I had them in.
I don't remember mine either. So we're just gonna have to watch this back if we try to make graphics. You know what? We're not doing graphics. You guys are spoiled. Just watch the damn video.
Hit rewind.
Also,
we'll
hello
be
to all
we'll
of our
be
new
back.
followers if you watch this.
Yeah, we'll be back in person next week. You'll get a normal episode. Hopefully
Yeah.
the same length as this one. I feel
Yeah,
like this
I like this.
relatively
I feel bad because I feel like we rushed through it, but at the same time, I think it's a good length. So let's keep it at this. and we can get better at like just the stuff we put in being more detailed and things like that. But yeah, where should we follow you, Dave? Tell the world.
I am now at the Dave Rainey.
Wow, wonder where you got that.
Yep.
How do you spell Rainey?
Rainey.
There you go. So at the Dave Rainey for him. For me, super familiar or similar. At the Patty V as in Victor, the Patty V. You can also follow our podcast account, which you probably already do, which is at Who Effin' Knows, KNEAUXS, or at Be in the Know. Also find us on not Be in the Know. Also find us on theknow.com. We'll have some articles coming soon. Patty's Players is coming back strong. I've been slacking on that. Dave's back from Vegas.
I'll have 2 weeks worth of in case you missed it on Sunday. So
yeah, got a lot coming. I might just start writing articles about fun things that we don't talk about on the pod, specifically Zach Wilson and how he lost his job. Who knows? Maybe it comes out, maybe it doesn't. We'll see. That's all I got tonight. You got anything? You got anything else?
Nope, that's a wrap. I'm gonna go finish my shift till 5 a.m. and mess around with people on Twitter, I guess.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go make sure I didn't dry out this pork belly. So it's coming off right now. Hopefully it's good tomorrow.
If you ruined it, I'll take it off your hands.
I mean, it's still covered in barbecue sauce. It's gonna be fine, but like it's hopefully it's not terrible. All right, that's it. Until next time, we might be releasing some episodes in between. You might get a lost episode. But we'll see you soon.
Later.
Adios.